Hello, and welcome to the Sun Into Sagittarius 2016 edition of the newsletter. Yay, we made it into the optimistic, mutable fire sign of Sagittarius, and I'm going to talk to you about the sun cycle ahead. So, this is the combination of planetary happenings that will be happening as the sun travels through Sagittarius in 2016. Here are the start times. I'm kind of reformatting the videos, and this time I'm going to try to just go through all the charts. I've got 7 charts for you for key days and key events about this. So let's jump right in, and thank you for joining me. All right, so chart 1. And I'm going to pause and talk about each chart and then keep moving through. So, new format, and we'll just see how this goes. So, chart 1, the day that the sun moves into Sagittarius, the 21st of November. A couple things to point out, and I tried to do that with the colors that I use on the chart. So, biggest story, and you're going to see it throughout this cycle. Sun and Mercury are going to be making connections with Saturn, and they're going to be making right angles with the planets in Pisces and the North Node, and at the very beginning and the very end of this cycle with the moon that'll be in Virgo at those times. So what is this? This is our mutable cross. These are mutable energies. That is a big story. Other thing that will kind of be battling it, or we're going to have this back and forth energy, is I want you to look next door to the sign of Capricorn, where we see Pluto at the beginning and we see Venus at the beginning. Those guys are also forming right angles to Uranus, which is in Aries, and to expansive Jupiter over there in Libra. So we have a cardinal cross. This is where it gets interesting, folks. So the mutable energies are about finishing a season. What are we releasing? What are we leaving behind? And my goodness, all the astrologers have been talking about mutable stuff probably since May of last year. And of course, we went through the big Saturn-Neptune squares this year in June and in September. And I told you when the sun got back into Sagittarius, it would fire some of that back up. So again, what are we releasing? What didn't work? What did we try really hard for and just maybe have to, come through the ashes, figure out what happened, and the other thing happening at the same time, the formation of all this cardinal energy. Cardinal energy is sort of has the other agenda. The mutables finish out their season and they prepare us for the new. Well, we have so much new coming in with this emphasis on Capricorn, which is about building. Now, the nice thing is that the planet Saturn is right in the middle of the mutable stuff, and Saturn is the planet of Capricorn. So there's actually, if we kind of, think of it in a broader sense, we're releasing stuff, but we're also getting a sense of what's coming in next, what we want to build, etc., etc. But I do want to give all the Sagittarius energy its due. Sagittarius is wishful, it's hopeful, it's optimistic, and with that arrow, it asks you, what do you want next? Look at the big horizon. This is a 9th house sign, worldviews, philosophy, taking all the information you have and saying, well, how do I want to integrate it? And Saturn is there helping you put that to work. And in fact, let's, move on to the second chart here on the 23rd. This is a conjunction between Mercury and Saturn, and I actually really like this. But you guys know I love my Saturn because Saturn is the structure. Saturn says, okay, you want to do all those happy, optimistic, you have the dreams, you dream a little dream, when you wish upon a star, all those things that are very Disney. Disney was a Sagittarius, so that's all the Sag energy that we're in now, including our thinking in Mercury. But we have to put it into a form, and Saturn is that structure. So it's really helping us build things if we allow it. So I apologize for all the alarms. Now, interestingly enough, we get to the next day, the 24th, and don't worry, I'm not going to go through a chart for every single day. We have a big clash. We have the cardinal energy. Remember how I said it's going to be back and forth, mutable cardinal, mutable cardinal. Should I stay or should I go? We've got a big square between Jupiter and Pluto. Now, this is interesting because there's a connection with Venus here that cannot be underestimated. Venus is close there, and this is Thanksgiving Day for the US. But because we're talking about an outer planet square, you guys know that those take a long time to build up. And so it's not, yes, it takes place on that specific day, it's exact, but the energies are felt. This could be financial arguments, disputes about budgets. Jupiter always wants to spend more. It's the exuberant one. And we've got, Pluto, which means business, and Venus in Capricorn. Capricorn is austere. It wants to build things, but it also wants us to stay within our means, so to speak. So, I'm not sure how this one's going to play out. I'm not really worried about anything. I think it's going to be very, very positive. But it is a day where, if I'd say anything moving forward, it's as we do this cycle, it's about having a plan for the holidays, because we do have a Mercury retrograde coming at the very end of the cycle. So if you use this time to say, okay, what's my list, what's my budget, etc., you're fine. But I would say more broadly, what's your list and what's your budget for 2017? We're really in that Sag energy where we think of the big picture, not just the immediate 6 weeks to finish out this year, but what's going on into next year. We got one more year of the Saturn in Sagittarius, and so I would really say, this is an opportunity, so that things don't kind of crash on a square, to kind of get things in alignment. Next chart, 29th. New moon. Look at this pretty stellium. I just love this. You know me, I love the Sag energy, I love the fire signs, and I also love a new moon for setting intention. So again, what is your wish? What is your hope? Sag, I think of my Sag friends as like the golden retrievers. I hope I don't get too much flack for this, of the zodiac. They want to make friends with everybody. They want everybody to get along. And this is a really hopeful, nice aspect. And again, it's a square. It's in the middle of these, this mutable T-square, but it's not an exact T-square anymore. So I just don't think this is going to be anything that's near as harsh as the energies we had back when the sun was in Virgo or back when the sun was in Gemini. I think we've really cleared the hardest parts of this year. So thinking ahead, where do you want to aim that arrow? What are your intentions for the future? And then, following the guidance that comes through around it. Next chart, a couple days later, this is Mercury entering Capricorn. Very important. Mercury will have just crossed the shadow of its next retrograde. But I find this one really interesting because Mercury is moving and joining that productive energy. So again, I love how also in this chart, another little stellium, the moon, that moon is just guiding us throughout this whole cycle. It's like our feelings and our intuitions about things, following those. And I love this because we are going to be able to take that wish, that dream, and then put it to very practical use. Remember, Capricorn is an earth sign, but it's also cardinal, so it's a lot of get up and go. It's a lot of energy to see something through. Capricorn is our 10th house, so this is our ambition, our recognition in the world, what we accomplish. But Capricorn is not afraid to roll up its sleeves and work for it. And so our thinking is going to go into this very productive space, which actually is going to be very handy for the holidays. And bigger pictures than that. I joke, but honestly, you guys, beginning of December, I really, if you're going to get everything done, don't be a last minute Lucy this year or Larry, because you're going to be in trouble. We do have Mercury going retrograde at the end. We are going to be thinking productively. We're going to be getting this momentum and this excitement about what we want to build and accomplish next, coupled with the ability of Sag to stay inspired and to stay very light-minded. And the other thing I didn't cover in the previous charts, but I highlighted it pretty bright there, so you probably kept noticing Mars being in Aquarius. I love Mars being in Aquarius. Got there November 8th, and this is asking us to step back, put our energy into the bigger picture again. We have this whole emphasis, from Jupiter, that I was talking about last month in the 7th house, or in the top of what we would call the chart, 7th through 12th house stuff happening, bigger picture, broader picture energy. And Mars is in that Aquarius, the age of Aquarius, enlightenment. What's the higher good? Libra, talking about relationships, partnerships, cooperation, those two in a nice trine. And now Venus joins the party. So, Venus is, our hearts, our feelings, our, those things. So we're going to have this going on. I love this period here from December 7th through the 19th, where Mars and Venus are going to be coupled in Aquarius. This is wonderful, wonderful energy, and very complementary to everybody over there in Sagittarius. That's on both sides of everything in Sagittarius. We have nice energy coming from Libra, and we have nice energy coming, complementary energy coming from Aquarius, and also I would add Uranus in Aries, because that's making a trine to all the fire. So again, a lot of positivity coming in this cycle, and I want to get to the final chart that I pulled here so you can see where we all land by the end of it. But this is the beginning of the Mercury retrograde, the 19th of December that I talked about. And this is also when Mars goes into Pisces, which a lot of people are not liking. They're like, Mars is all my energy in Pisces. I don't know. I actually like this because it's a beautiful way to end the year. Pisces is holistic, it's spiritual, it is about integrating it. We've worked our way all the way from Aries through the whole zodiac, and it's in a place. Mars can be a little combustible, it can be a little contentious at times, and I think none of us want any more of that. We've had a year with a lot of strife, and so for Mars to kind of be parking itself or moving on into a sign of holistic things, of completion, of integration, of bringing things together, of assimilation, I actually think is a nice place for it. So, and again, people have different interpretations, and that's fine, but it also adds, to that mutable energy of what to leave behind, what to, let go of, and what isn't serving us anymore, kind of thing. So again, we end this cycle with these same two elements at work. And I like how in this very last chart, the moon has moved back into Virgo, putting some emphasis back in the mutable energy of like, okay, this changing of the guard, this changing of times that we're going through, which is what the mutables do. They prepare us. It's where we literally start bringing the light back in. We start really seeing 2017, which is an extremely positive year. We have the eclipses moving from the mutable energy into the fire of Leo and into Aquarius. So those are some of the things. Let me do my little spiel at the end, but that's a general overview. Okay. All right, I'm Elizabeth from Elizabeth's Oracle. I hope that was helpful. If you'd like more information, you are more than welcome to visit my site, elizabethsoracle.com. There is 5 free minutes with your first order. If you'd actually like a personal consultation or reading, I would be very happy to do that for you. Get a look at the new year, what's coming in, etc. And I also will be joining my friend Kristy. You can listen to those shows anytime time on Kristy's connection to the soul. We go over what's coming in, and she channels an angel message. And in fact, she has this brand new book, which I encourage you, if not only to read yourself, but if you're looking for Christmas presents, and she didn't put me up to this. Hopefully she'll be fine with it, but that's what friends do, right? They support each other. I bought several copies already. Angel messages, I am all about it, people. We need the angels here more than we ever have. And she's got a book. This is a lot of practical guidance. So we can be all spiritual, but how do we put it into the world, which is another aspect I think that goes so nicely with the astrology that's happening. What are those Sagittarian aspirations, and then how do we put them to work? We're going to get Saturn at the very end of next year, leaving Sag and transitioning into Capricorn, getting productive. So the things that we're learning to do during this cycle and the next, literally Sun through Sag, Sun through Capricorn now, are preparing us for what's about to happen in a little over a year. So last year of Saturn and Sag, people, let's go. We're halfway up the mountain. Let's keep going. And I'm going to see you when the sun heads into Capricorn. Thank you so much for watching. Please feel free to subscribe, etc., etc. And we'll see you when the sun is in the sign of Capricorn.